Okay, good morning. Yesterday about the same time I made the bread starter, and you can see that it is nice and active and it's ready to be made into dough. And so here we go. I'm going to first, I've got a little mixture here. It's a teeny bit of sugar, salt, and a tiny bit of citric acid, which helps it last a little bit longer if you're not going to eat it all in a couple of days. And I stir that in first. And so you can see the consistency of this. The gluten in the flour has done its thing really nicely. You can see how nice and stretchy that is. And by the way, the flour that I'm using is from Central Milling. It is Baker's Craft Plus organic flour from Central Milling up in Petaluma. I buy it 50 pounds at a time. So that's nice and mixed in. And I'm going to add a couple of cups of flour, loosely measured. And then we'll stir this until the flour starts to be taken up by the more liquid bread starter. It'll be a little bit shaggy in the beginning. That's normal. And then I'm going to turn it out onto the board, scrape out as much as I can from the bowl. I'm going to need the bowl, so obviously I will have to wash it before I put the bread dough back in here for another day. It'll go back into the fridge for another day with plastic wrap on top. So it's a little shaggy, a little sticky in places. You can see I'm using a nice sturdy spoon to do the stirring because it is pretty stiff to stir. And then I use one of these. I got this up at Central Milling also. Okay, so we're continuing to mix this, and I'll cut and separate pieces of the dough, move them around to different parts to make sure that it's thoroughly mixed. And I just do this for a little while to make sure that I've got everything worked together. And then I'm going to have to wash the bowl so I can use it again. And I'm going to coat the bowl with olive oil. I use a nice quality California Ranch organic olive oil. Coat the bowl generously. Okay, so once the bowl is thoroughly coated, what I do is I just rub my hands across and I take some of that extra oil that I might have. I get it on the bread dough and take the bread knife and flip it over. Do the same thing again. And I do this just so when I'm getting it out of the bowl later tomorrow about the same time, it won't stick to the plastic in the bowl as much. I'll get this into a little ball, get the olive oil on it, and that's it. Back into the fridge for another day. Plastic goes back on. Voila, ready to go sit for another day.